Welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. We have a full show tonight. I'm glad you're with us. We're going to start off talking with a group called FosterClub. FosterClub is headquartered in Seaside, Oregon, but we have kids from all over the country here this summer to participate in their all-star internship program. So to talk about FosterClub today, we have Paulette Castro. Welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
And Tiaja Henderson.
Hello.
It's so nice to have you here. So ladies, you are level 2 all-star interns. What's the difference between a level 2 and a level 1? And what are you doing here?
Well, as a level 2, what we're here is that we were an all-star at first. I served 2013 and Paulette served in 2011. And we're just giving back to the organization that fed us. So being able to just be able to be their coach for the All-Stars, we've been through this process. Nice. We know what it looks like.
So tell me, the FosterClub, tell me what it's about. Obviously, it's for kids that have come out of the foster care system, right? Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit of the history, if you would.
Sure. So FosterClub is the national network for young people in foster care. It started in 1989 when our ED, Celeste Bodner, was a foster parent. And so she was fostering 2 young boys and realized that there was no real resources out there for her as a foster parent. And so what she did was she did her own research. She started the website, which essentially started FosterClub, was the website, so fosterclub.org. And so she just created a base to where people could get resources for youth that are in the system, but also for foster parents and professionals that work in the field.
So kind of a support group online.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Okay. But it's grown from there, right?
Oh yeah.
So tell me, it's national now, correct?
Yes.
How many states? Do you have any idea how many states?
Oh, they cover a lot of states. I know that just in my time with FosterClub the last few years, it's actually expanded. So they actually have staff now in Washington, D.C. working on the Hill, and then they also have an office down in Southern California working on initiatives in California.
Tell me a little bit about what the mission is of FosterClub. What is the main purpose? It's not just support anymore, correct?
Yes.
No, it's not just support. We do so much. We just help the youth from a peer-to-peer perspective as well, help them connect. We inspire the youth, and when we go out to events, we also just educate them on resources. What's happening in your state? Did you know this is going on? Bill of Rights, other things like that. So we know how it is, and so we just feeding them, educating them, inspiring them, empowering them. Sometimes you just need someone to say, hey, you're doing good, I'm proud of you, and keep going.
Everybody needs that.
Yep.
Now I imagine because you did come out of the foster care system, you have a lot more credibility than somebody else would. Yeah. Yeah. And do you feel a real need when you're out there in the community and you're talking to kids that are in the system? Do you really feel that need, that they need to hear that?
Oh, definitely. I know that when I was growing up in care, I had no network, no support system, and so I thought I was alone. I was in care for 14 years, and so you can imagine through those 14 years, not having a support system, not knowing any of your peers that had gone through the same issues and could relate to you, aside from those that you were in homes with. So I think when I came to FosterClub, it was the first time my eyes were opened that there was a network of people all over the nation, even in other countries. Mm-hmm.
And is it in other countries now too?
Well, I mean, there's foster care systems. Exactly. Right. And so just comparing it and learning about it, just getting empowered about your rights and the changes you can make with just our stories alone. It's a really powerful just organization. Yeah. It's breathed a lot of air and life into the both of us, but we see the way it makes so much change. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Now, before we go too far, I want to welcome some other guests that you brought with
Yes.
you today, because not only are you here visiting us today, but we actually have the All-Stars from all over the country. So maybe we could just turn the camera on our studio audience here. If we could. Why don't you turn around and wave to the camera? Hey! So these are All-Stars from, let's see, we have Michigan, we have Las Vegas, Nevada, we have Vermont.
Montana, got New York.
Well, who'd I miss? you can speak up. Who'd I miss? Minnesota.
Got a few.
So they're from all over the country, and so they're all here for the summer internship with the All-Stars. So you guys are All-Stars, which is pretty cool. Tell me about the program. What do they do, or what do you do when you're here at Seaside for the summer?
So it starts off with an intensive leadership training. So it goes on for a few weeks, and then after we feel that their tools are built up, we send them out. So we send them on different conferences, different camps, and pretty much what they do is they really connect with not just young people that are in care, but youth that are aging out of care, professionals, foster parents. There's also the possibility to, go to Washington, D.C. or speak at local events just to make changes to the actual system.
So you do advocacy work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So not just personal, but also legal as well.
Making changes in the system, and you got to start somewhere, right?
Yes.
So how long is the internship program?
It's for 7 weeks. So we pick them up from the airport, and they live in a house together. They work together, and they go to different conferences and events, like Paulette was saying, and they kind of become like a family.
I bet you break down a lot of barriers.
Though the internship only lasts for 7 weeks, they are part of a network. So essentially, some of the people I interned with my year, I'm best friends with today, and so even with my relationship with her, it'll go on for years, and that's
wonderful.
That's the type of network that this organization holds.
So what do you think is the most important thing that you got out of being an intern, being an all-star? What did you gain personally from that?
I mean, personally, coming into the system later, at 17, I had my world flipped. So kind of Foster Club just presented me a way to be able to still be myself, but be able to go around people that really wanted to hear from me. I never thought that someone wanted to hear from me. So
it's a good feeling when they do, isn't it?
They gave me a platform. So I stood on the stage, and I did exactly what Foster Club always put into me. It's just be yourself, love yourself, be humble, and give back.
And you're making a change. You're making a change. You're making the world a better place by doing that. So when the interns and the All-Stars, they leave this program, they go back to their own home states, then what?
So the hopes are always to implement what you've learned at your time in Oregon in your own home state. And then we also have a lot of initiatives just in Oregon. So, I mean, we run like the teen conferences, a lot of the life skills training. And Oregon has a really good system. The workers, they mesh really well with Foster Club, and so they work really well together.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, no, it's good to hear, especially in you would think, in your own state, you would want more, and so that's essentially why we represent such a vast variety of the states, and then we go back and we try to implement change in our own states.
And so where are you two from?
California.
And I'm from Missouri.
Missouri, okay. So you did you go back then and do that when and what kinds of things did you do?
Well, for me, I just got plugged into the local or national organizations around me. What can I do? Get me busy. What can I put my hands on? So using what I went to school for, trying to start some things up with the school of having activities that were just mainly focused on youth trying to better themselves while they're in college, having that support system.
Wow. What about you?
Well, we expanded Foster Club to California, so I got to help in the process, and then we also got to select youth ambassadors that are helping change the education outcomes for young people in foster care.
It's gotta feel really good to be able to make a change, especially so young. You think of that as something you do when you're a little older. You mentioned your founder, Celeste. There was something new in the news recently. And I saw you at this magazine, so I had to ask you about this. So tell our group here about what's going on with More Magazine.
So the awesome thing about More Magazine that's actually still on stands right now is our executive director, Celeste.
So this is the July/August 2015 issue.
So it's still out.
Yeah, okay.
So she got featured. I think the most important thing of just her being in this magazine is just to highlight the I mean, the importance of how the organization, like how important it's become. I mean, it's national, and even just within this last year, we had young leaders be recognized in the White House for their outstanding achievements, and a lot of them were Foster Club alumni. So it's
So here's a picture of Celeste Bodner.
Yes.
And this is, I mean, full page here. That's a pretty big deal in More Magazine. And the whole article about her founding this organization and her work.
inspirational women.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So that's one of the few organizations that are featured in here. So this is all about organizations and people that have made an impact.
Yes.
So that's what you're doing now.
Oh.
So the leadership training, do you really feel it's changed you?
Oh,
Daily. Patience, understanding.
compassion.
Definitely. Oh my goodness, yes.
You talked about some that you do events once in a while, and I think we had some pictures, a few
Oh,
pictures
yeah.
from some events that you were at or that you were part of. So maybe we can take a look at those, and you can tell me what we're seeing, because I'd like to know what kind of events what do you do?
Yeah.
So, okay, now this is a group photo here.
Yes, that's actually, we try to get all 24 of the interns from this summer. So we split them into 2 groups because we can't possibly house 24 at once, but
Sure.
that's the large majority of the group.
Great.
So-
Nice variety pack there.
Oh yeah, that is, we had a nurse come in, so she gave her time, she gave her heart, she gave her a talent that she had, and she helped us figure out who we were, and it's our legendary self. I personally love that one because I never thought I could see something in a picture or even paint. So she gave her time and her energy with that, and lovely.
Great
Really awesome,
pictures.
yeah.
Lovely.
That was
I love
pretty
that.
awesome.
How fun.
This is a CASA event down in Roseburg, Oregon,
Yes.
and we got to work with their CASA down there. And so CASA is court-appointed special advocates, and it's just an example of a way to volunteer in the foster care system.
And there's probably a lot of opportunities.
Oh, yeah,
people
there's
don't even know
definitely.
about.
Oh yeah, that's in Oregon. That was Oregon teen, and that was at the camp. And a lot of the youth, foster care youth that are in Oregon, went to this, and they still talk about it. They're still wearing their shirts. They loved it, and that's just part of another thing that just as a state you can just get yourself involved in, volunteer, get some service in, or anything. Just figure out what they need.
This is a good example of other volunteers. The
Yes.
quilt makers out of the Metro Portland area. Every summer they invest their time and labor into creating these quilts for our interns. And so
Wow.
it's really sweet. It's a group of
What about if somebody out here was a quilt maker and wanted to become involved and help do that? How would they get involved?
So the first thing I would recommend is to go on the website, FosterClub.org, and it's just there's a tab on ways to get involved. So the first thing we really harp on, because we are a nonprofit, is we can always use funders, we can always use donations. But a second one is if you don't have that option, there's plenty of other ways you can mentor. You can if you quilt, if you're an artist, you can volunteer those services. There's a variety of different
just
ways.
check it out.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, then just email
Or
or
you
call
can
and
even
ask.
just send in a gas card. We travel, we drive
yeah.
everywhere.
We drive an industrial
You came
size
all the
van.
way out here.
long drive,
Yeah.
so
There's-
even that helps.
There's plenty of different ways to get involved, and sometimes it's as simple as just being present in a young person's life.
Or just even call and say, hey, I love what you're doing, keep doing it. Motivation.
Yes.
That's nice too. That's nice. It's
nice.
important. What about can you donate a vehicle? If I have an old car or something, do you do that?
There's possibilities for that. Yeah.
I don't see why not.
I was heard.
It doesn't
I
hurt
heard
to
that you
ask.
guys do that now, so I don't know. Well, if people are interested then in donating their time, their money, if they just want to say, give them an attaboy or an attagirl,
Yeah.
go ahead and go to the website and check it out and get all the
Yes.
information there. And if people are interested in helping out in other ways, if they want to go to an event or maybe help sponsor an event, or if a corporation wants to become involved, again, go to the website.
Yeah, we have all the contact information, so you can reach out to the right people.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. Any last words before I let you go? Because you're the best and the brightest here. I love it. I really appreciate you being here, and thank you to all of you here from Foster Club. It's great to have you here today. It was really fun. We had a
And
good
we
time.
appreciate you taking the time out, and we appreciate everyone watching. We really love what we do, and we encourage you to do the same.
And if you don't know about what it's like to be a foster kid,
Here it
and have
is.
somebody come out and do a talk for you. Okay, thanks very much. Thanks for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. We'll be right back in just a few minutes, so don't go away.
my documentary was more than I ever would have dreamed of doing.
This is a community media station.
It was phenomenal.
Ready, camera, one.
What is it about this place that makes so many different people come together?
Ready, camera, two.
Very professional, experienced people.
You can use these industry standard pieces of equipment.
Ready, camera, three. Take three.
You don't have to be rich to do this.
Open people's eyes to something they've never even thought of before.
Cool stuff happens. It becomes this community.
That's going to really change who's telling the stories and who's controlling the messaging.